All right, what's up, y'all? So today I'm gonna break down exactly how to get jacked, and it's so easy. I got 4 steps. It's 4 steps, and you will be jacked. Simple as that. Nothing else to it. So we'll jump right in. Step one, and this is the most important step. All right, step one, the most important step. Step one is forget every fucking thing you've ever thought you knew about getting jacked or any of that bullshit. Forget it all, because I'm gonna be real with you. Whatever you know, whatever you think you know, if you're not jacked already, obviously what you know is worth fucking nothing. I'm going to be so real with you. And this used to come from somebody who thought my intelligence was like far superior to the average man when it came to lifting. And yet my physique was average as fuck. So what does that tell me? It means that the information that I had that I thought was valuable, either one, was not valuable and was honestly bullshit information, or two, I didn't know how to apply it to actually get something out of that information. And so that's why I'm saying forget everything you know, because steps two through four, it's going to be a restart. It's going to be basically the 3 things that you need to know and that are actually going to be applied to getting you jacked. So it's super simple. So step one is just fucking forget it all. And let's restart. All right. Let's just restart. Step two, and this is when it in terms of actually muscle building, this is probably the most important thing. And that's diet. And I know you hear that all the time. All right. I know you hear that all the time. Oh, you need to focus on your diet. It's true. There's a reason that the Olympia bodybuilders eat 8 times a day and they eat the same shit for a year straight. It's not because they like it. It's because it's the most important thing. Your food is everything to muscle building. And so I'm gonna break that down. The most basic way to break it down so you can actually apply it. I like to go off of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So the math behind that, for anybody who struggles, with math, 160 pounds you weigh, that's 160 grams of protein a day. Simple. It's simple. Your body's going to get enough protein to rebuild itself. But that leads me into carbohydrates. There's something called a keto diet. A keto diet is basically 0 or super, super low carbs. Now, everybody fell in love with this, fad, because they're like, oh my God, it's going to get me so lean because doctors say that carbohydrates is what's making me fat. No, carbohydrates is not what's making you fat. You're fat because your lifestyle. You're a fat fuck because you live a shitty lifestyle and you abuse carbs. In reality, carbs are where your body gets energy. If you take that away, what happens? Your body has to look elsewhere for energy. Now, the first thing your body's going to do is it's going to start getting its energy from its fat stores. But it can only take so much from that. So where does it look next? Your protein. And that's why if you are on a keto diet, the 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight then becomes invalid because your body has to utilize your protein for energy. So it can't utilize your protein for muscle recovery and building. That is why carbohydrates are so important. Now, my rule of thumb is 2 grams of carbohydrates, 2 to 3, depending on if you're bulking or if you're maintaining, 2 to 3 per pound of body weight. If you weigh 160 pounds, that's 320 grams of carbs. Now, what that does is it provides your body with an essential amount of carbohydrates for energy so that your body can use the grams of protein, your 160 grams of protein, efficiently. It can rebuild muscle. It can recover muscle better. It'll grow muscle bigger. If you don't have the carbs, your muscles aren't going to grow as much because your protein in your body, all the protein that you're eating, isn't getting used efficiently. In fat, well, there's really 3 things that I eat for fat because fat's important for heart health, but only certain fats. Trans fats and saturated fats are terrible for you. They will kill you. So you want unsaturated fats. Simple. The three things I get my fat sources from are avocados, eggs, and cashews. Now, peanuts in general are known to be good fats. So you don't have to eat cashews if you like almonds or just peanuts or whatever. You can do that. I just like cashews. Avocados, great, high in omegas, great fatty acids that are going to help your heart. Same with eggs. Eggs are hugely, hugely big in omega 6s. So those are the only three things that I eat specifically for their fat content. Anything else, I try to go low fat. Easy. Step three. Don't train like a pussy. All right? If you want to get jacked, you have to train hard. You will not grow muscle. You will not get huge. You will not become this monster that you think you will if you're training like a pussy. Up the weight, up the intensity, train hard. Train like it's the last day you'll ever have in the gym, every single day. You have to go into the gym with an iron mindset, knowing you will push and push and push. Give it everything you have so that when you walk out of the gym, you know there was nothing left to give. And you do that every single day. You stay consistent with that. All right? And it's not about going in the gym and trying to max every day. I never max because I don't give a shit about maxing. The only thing I'm trying to max is my growth. Not the amount I can bench or not the amount I can squat, because I don't give a shit about that. It's meaningless. You're not going to build more muscle from going in there and lifting 405 pounds once versus lifting 315 pounds 12 times. You will get more muscle growth and more definition and more muscle endurance from the 12 reps of 315 than the 1 rep of 405. It's simple. There are studies done behind that. Now, if you're training to be a power lifter, I understand if you're trying to max. But if you're training to get jacked, you're not training to become a power lifter. They're just, now some power lifters are jacked, most are, but they don't train to get jacked. That's just a side effect. If your goal is to get massive and stay shredded and just be huge and be an absolute unit, you're not powerlifting. They're two different things. They're two different ways of training. So if you want to be a powerlifter, go watch somebody who does powerlifting, because I don't. In your training, you should enjoy it, but you shouldn't. Training is my favorite part of the day. I love it. It is the best. And yet, I experience so much pain and it's like suffering when I go in the gym because I push myself so hard. So why do I love it? Well, because I'm pushing myself so hard. I get to do something every day. Well, except rest days, but it's a little different. But basically every day where I am pushing myself to my limits. And I get to test where I'm at. And that's beautiful. And I love that. And that's why I love training. But you have to train like an animal. You cannot train like a fucking pussy. If you're going to go in there and train like a pussy, you're going to have the physique of a pussy. Simple science. And step 4, our final step, recovery. You have to recover, man. You can't train every single day. Even I don't train every single day, and I've been lifting for 5 years. You have to recover. And on your recovery days, it doesn't mean, you get to go home, you get to eat like shit for a day. It doesn't mean you get to slack off for a day. No, even on my recovery days, I go do cardio. I still eat properly. I do an ab routine usually. I do stretching. I stretch every day, but I do a longer stretch routine on my recovery days. So recovery is just as important as everything else because your muscles have to rebuild. You break them down. You train as hard as you can. You break them down. You refill your body with the good food from step 2. But then you have to let your body sit. You've got to let your body use those nutrients. You've got to let your body actually rebuild. It's just as important. If you're not letting your body recover properly, then it's not getting its full potential. So recovery is just as important. So that's If your idea of recovery is, you get to lay in bed and watch movies all day while eating junk food, that's not recovery. Recovery is still going and doing 30, 45 minutes of cardio, doing a stretch routine, doing abs, eating properly. I actually try to get a little more protein on my recovery days to try to give my body a little bit extra to use to recover. So treat your recovery days just like they were a training day without going to the gym or without lifting. Everything else you should treat it like it's a training day, like it's any other day. A recovery day is not a lazy day. It's just a recovery day. It's just a day for you to allow your body to recover. So don't treat it like it's a day that you get to slack off and do whatever the hell you want, because it's not. So I'm going to run through this again. Step 1, forget everything. Forget everything you knew. Step 2, diet is everything. Your diet should be your number one focus. Step 3, train like an animal. Don't train like a fucking pussy. And then step 4, our final step, recover as if your life depended on it. Recover as if you had to. If you didn't recover, you'd never be able to lift again. If you didn't put energy and time and effort into your recovery, you would never grow. It's as simple as that. So those are the 4 steps that are going to get you absolutely jacked. You follow this, you put your heart and soul into this, and you go 100%. I promise you, 3, 6, 9 months from now, a year from now, you will be a different person. Guaranteed.